my gosh, that was beautiful. Thank you so much. All right, good afternoon, Argonne. Welcome to our school's first 100th birthday party. Let's give a round of applause for that. I know so many of you are so excited. Just like when you're at a birthday party, an assembly, you're really excited. But it's not okay to scream like that too loud because the noise echoes in here. So let's make sure our volumes are still appropriate when we're inside. All right, students, we have a great show planned for you, and now I'm going to turn it over to our MC for the afternoon, Joey the coach.
Thank you. So, that's the big cheese. Miss Katinka, give up the big cheese and a round of applause, please. All right, we are celebrating Argonne's 100th birthday today. It was dedicated February 22nd, 1920. Today is, the 24th, so we missed by Saturday, but we're here today. I love the energy so far. It looks great. It's going to be a really swell day. First thing we're going to have is going to be some dancers for you, okay? Before that, I want to tell you, throughout the school right now, we have posters put up and comic strips. Fifth graders, kindergartners, and a lot of different classes did comics or projects to celebrate Argonne's 100th birthday party, and they are just keen. So go find them. Make sure you see them on your way out. Right now, I would like to invite up our first group for the day. Our entertainment today won't be TVs or iPads or cell phones. It will in fact be our Lindy Hop dancers. I'd like to invite up Jen and Ken Wanaba.
Hello, Argonne! Hi! We're so happy to be here today as part of your 100th anniversary. This is so great. They invited us to come and do some dancing in the style of the 1920s. You may or may not know there's a style of partner dancing called swing dancing, and the birth of swing dancing happened in the 1920s. Early in the 1920s, there was a form of dancing, the Charleston, which was a big, wild dance, all the rage that people did as a solo step. And later in the 1920s, they did that with a partner. And later on, they started calling that Lindy Hop, which is the first form of swing dancing. And Ken and I are Lindy Hop dancers. That's what we do professionally. And we're gonna do a dance demo with some different styles of swing dancing, also showing the Shim Sham, which was a performance dance that was popular at the Apollo Theater in Harlem during the 1920s and was adopted by many other dancers in the 1930s. So without further ado, let's hit the music and we're gonna do some dancing for you.
See the music.
Oh, Argonne, was that the bee's knees or what? If you'd like to learn Lindy Hop like that, I'm told that they teach that Sundays in Golden Gate Park free. Free is my favorite price of all time, so make sure you check that out sometime. Awesome, we're off to a really rip-roaring good time today. Today, we also have visiting us a good friend of the neighborhood, a good friend of Argonne. Recently wrote a nice piece about Argonne too. We have Nicole Meldal with the Western Neighborhood Project coming up to tell us some stories and give us some information about our school and our neighborhood.
Oh boy, what an act to follow. Hi everybody. Look at that! Oh my goodness, I'm so happy to be here today, I have to tell you. I'm gonna share some stories about Argonne's history. And you know what? I was about your age when I first got interested in history. And then when I was a teenager, I got interested in San Francisco. And now, wouldn't you know it, I'm a San Francisco historian. Funny how that works out, huh? And I work for the Western Neighborhoods Project. We preserve and interpret West Side history, like in the Richmond district. And we have an office very, very close to here. We're on Balboa, right around the corner from you, in a big green and orange building with funny bear masks wearing top hats in the windows and a bunch of other historic photos. So why don't you guys come in and see me one of these days if you see the curtains open. Can you all promise to do that? Come visit me? Great, thank you. Next slide. So now let me ask you a very important question. Do you like to take photos or look at photos? Take? Yeah. Well, I have some news for you. We take and we post a lot of photos online on a website called OpenSF History, which is another program that we do. And on that website, we have over 47,000 historical images of San Francisco online, showing kids like you and you and you and you in photos from a really long time ago. Photos like kids at Ocean Beach, where there was playland at the beach. I saw one of you wrote a nice article on that. Or kids at an aeroplane club in Merced Heights in 1920. or kids on an old steam engine at the zoo, or kids on vacation with their parents at Fisherman's Wharf, or that little guy in the upper left corner who can't believe that he's watching the 1906 earthquake and fire from Dolores Park in the Mission District. Isn't that crazy, right? So you are a really big part of a very long history. So now that you have a little background on who I am and what we do, can you guys time travel with me? We're gonna go all the way back to April 1919. And in April 1919, World War I was finally over after 5 years of fighting. And peace came with the signing of an armistice agreement, and all of the San Franciscans who served overseas in Europe came home, and they had a really big parade for those regiments coming home. So right here, this is Market Street, and these are two regiments called the 363rd Infantry Regiment and the 347th Field Artillery Regiment. And they were known as San Francisco's own because so many of our boys served in those regiments. And thousands came out to welcome these boys home, and they all gathered at City Hall right there. That's a sign that says welcome home that you can't see very well. And Mayor James Rolfe, which is that photo right there, the man standing with that big bouquet of flowers, he helped receive the returning regiments. But this wasn't a happy time for everybody because some people were mourning the loss of their brothers and of their husbands and of their sons. And one boy who did not come home was named Corporal Chauncey Frank, and that's his gravestone right there. He served in Company C of the 363rd Infantry Regiment, along with the man in the corner right there, who was a friend of his named Sergeant Philip Katz. And Chauncey's parents were originally from France, but he was born and raised right here in San Francisco. He graduated from Lowell High School, and then he served as a shipping clerk before he was called up to serve in the war. And he wrote his mother, Cynthia, every single week when he was serving abroad in France. Until one day, he died in one of the deadliest fights of the war, known as the Meuse Argonne Offensive in the Argonne Forest in France. And this is where his friend Philip Katz buried him in a little hill. And he wouldn't be brought home until 1925, a long time after the war was over. And his mother was so sad about this that she couldn't go down to receive the rest of his regiment when they came home. But she did something else instead. She sent thousands of white carnations to Mayor James Rolfe and asked him to distribute those to all of the returning regiment. And they were white as a symbol of peace. So, what does that have to do with your school? So that same month, April 1919, the Board of Education passed a resolution. They decided that the first school constructed after the end of this war was going to be named for the San Franciscans who served in France. And guess what school that was? It was Argonne. So construction began at the end of that year, and on February 22nd, 1920, the school was dedicated. And it was the most modern school in the entire city. And that's what it looked like in 1922. And that brick veneer was fireproof. So special. And at the dedication, Corporal Frank's mother, Cynthia, was there, as well as Sergeant Katz, that we saw earlier, and other members of the regiment that he served with. And together they presented Argonne with two flags, which we don't know where it is today, but if you see a flag hiding in some corner of the school, you come around the corner and tell me, okay? And there was a plaque installed in the front of the school. Have you guys seen that plaque? Where is that plaque? You have a little piece of this school still here. So on that day when it was dedicated, one of Corporal Frank's friends from his regiment said the following: "This school will be a memorial, and it will pass the story from generation to generation. So kids in 1920, all the way to kids to 2020. So now that you know a little bit about why your school is named Argonne, how about we talk a little bit about what it was like to be a student at Argonne before you got here? Does that sound good? Okay. So in the 1920s and the 1930s, Argonne made headlines in local newspapers for all of the historical pageants that you would put on as part of your physical education class. Since the very beginning, you all have understood the importance of your school's name, putting on elaborate dances, and skits that celebrated diverse cultures and nations for Veterans Day, like the Pageant of All Nations seen here in 1927. The municipal band would play, students would make their own costumes and perform music, learning about opera, how to use a camera, and also how to tell stories, because storytelling is the main part of what a historian does. So these photos are from the 1940s, and they show Argonne students practicing for something called the Children's Pet Exhibition at the Argonne Playground. This playground, by the way, was created in November 1925, and it opened to the neighborhood after hours and on the weekends in 1927 because of the work of the Argonne Parent Teachers Association. They were inspired by a concern about overcrowding, and they wanted to make sure that all the excess land in the city that was owned by the education board was going to be a playground so you guys would have a place to play. And this pets exhibition is exactly what it sounds like. It started in 1915, went through the 1940s, and you would bring your pets, you know, your ducks and your dogs, and you would write about them, and you would tell judges what you did to care for them, and also you would have them perform tricks. Argonne was a major, major part of that exhibition every year. So, now on to the next decade. Up here in the corner are two class photos from the 1950s, and these were given to us by a Western Neighborhoods Project member named Julie O'Keefe, who still lives in the neighborhood, and she's in these photographs. And we love when people send us their photographs. So if you guys have photographs that you take here, if you know your mom or your dad or your grandparents have photographs, bring them on in. We would love to see them. You can't be a neighborhood history group without input from your neighbors, am I right? And so in the 1950s, well actually the 40s through the 60s, there was a mounted San Francisco police officer and his horse stationed at the intersection of 17th and Balboa, and they served as your crossing guards. Students loved these crossing guards, and you know what? They loved you right back. From 1947 to 1950, the post was held by a man named Officer Emmett Hanley and his horse, Snippy. So that's Hanley and Snippy. And he's giving tons of rides to local kids. You could ride all over the neighborhood on Snippy. And you know what else? Snippy was a very distinguished horse. And do you know why? Because he's the only horse to ever graduate from Argonne. He got a diploma in 1948 with the 6th grade class. I heard he earned high marks. And all of the students at Argonne were so sad when he had to retire in March 1950. They brought him apples, and they brought him handwritten notes, and they even made Officer Hanley cry a little bit. And he's not the only famous horse here at Argonne. In 1952, the post was held by Officer Ed Lawson, and his horse was named Tom. And when Officer Ed was injured in June 1965 while pursuing a bicycle thief through Golden Gate Park, the Argonne students raised money to buy him a really fancy television set so that he could watch that while he was recuperating at home. They marched more than 4.5 miles from this school to the officer's home on 38th Avenue to present the television set to him and a bunch of cards and to wish him to get better. And for this, because they were so kind, the San Francisco Giants treated all those students to a free baseball game. Pretty cool, right? And when Officer Ed came back to school a year later, all of you threw him a very big party. So you guys are pretty cool for being that nice. But your school doesn't look like the first photo I showed you anymore, does it? Looks a lot different. And that's because in the 1970s, people were really concerned about what we call seismic safety. They were afraid that the school wouldn't stand up to a big earthquake. And so they identified 6 schools in San Francisco that would have to be torn down. And those bricks, remember that brick veneer that was supposed to be life-saving because it was fireproof? Well, they were afraid that it was gonna fall off in a big earthquake and maybe hurt one of you. So they decided it had to be demolished, and they tore it down in 1971. So for a really long time, you had these sort of modular pod kind of temporary buildings from the 1970s until this school was built in 1997. And that's all I have for you. That's a 10-minute quick history of your school. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Nicole. Give one more round of applause, please, for Nicole Meldal. All right, students, I would like you please to turn to somebody next to you, somebody in front of you or behind you, and say, that was the cat's pajamas. Yeah, it's just one cool phrase we have here in the 1920s. All right, now I need eyes on me, and I need everyone to kind of refocus. Reset, get your bodies forward. Louie and Leo, eyes forward on me. Thank you, and voices off. Thank you. Before we carry on, I have an announcement to make. There's a Ford Model T outside. You left your lights on. What color? It was black? They're all black? Okay. So Ford Model T with your lights on, if you have one. We have our next guest. Thank you. We have our next guest coming up, a very special guest. One of our students here today, Levi Yakis. Levi, can you stand up, please? Everyone say hi, Levi. Levi has a great grandmother, okay, eyes back on me, who is joining us on stage. Her name is Adele. She went to Argonne 1927 to 1933. So she was here a long time ago, and she's here to talk to us about how it was back then. Could I have Priya and Baxter please join us on stage to ask them some questions? Priya and Baxter, come on up. Can we have a round of applause, please, for Adele, Priya, and Baxter? And Baxter right between them.
What was the school lunch like at Argonne when you were here?
Well, school didn't look like this. It was much smaller. It had the brick front. I don't recall anybody ever pasting a picture on the wall. That was not allowed when I went to school. But I just lived down on 18th Avenue, just around the corner, just down the block. And it was easy to get to school, and the main thing was probably that I remember about Argonne are the many friends I made, many who, well, I won't say many, but a few who went through elementary, junior high, high school, and then through college. So believe me, look around, you're going to have friends for a long time. And that's the main thing that I remember.
What did the yard here look like?
I can't hear you.
What did the yard look like?
The yards were not as fancy as they are today. Even the fence didn't look this way. All I can tell you is it was just a cement floor, a ground floor, and all we did was to go out there. I don't remember too much about that.
What do you remember about the Golden Gate Bridge when it opened?
When school opened,
What do you remember about the Golden Gate Bridge when it opened?
well, I walked over the very first day that the Golden Gate Bridge was opened. A few of us from, I guess it was high school at that time, we walked across the bridge and then walked all the way to Ross. It was quite an expedition. I still remember it. I think it was most probably my first date, so why wouldn't I remember it? And there were 4 of us who did that.
What kind of field trips did you go on when you were a student here?
I don't recall the school going on any, but I can remember when I was a campfire girl. During summer, we had all kinds of trips to different, let's say parks and different museums over summer.
What were the classrooms like at Argonne when you were a student?
Well, I don't think there were as many in our class as you have today, and we certainly didn't have computers, that's for certain. And the one thing I can tell you, we weren't able to dress as you do today.
What was one of your boldest memories at Argonne?
That's hard. There were many. There were good times, but the main thing was we had very good teachers. We weren't afraid to come to school. We looked forward to come to school. And summer was always a treat. But the friendships that we made were the key that I remember. Thank you.
What was your favorite thing about Argonne when you were a student here? Your favorite thing about Argonne?
My favorite thing was it was close by. I could walk to school. Nobody had, no mother. First of all, most mothers who stayed at home didn't have a second car, so there wasn't a way to drive to school. So you walked to school, rain or shine, and you came in through 17th Avenue, I do remember that, and these were happy days.
What did they serve as school lunch?
I don't believe we had lunch at school. I think we went home for lunch, and if we did stay at school, we brought our own sandwich.
Was there a student council, like someone that passed out the balls at recess, or like organized things for the students?
I don't believe there was, but then my memory maybe isn't quite as clear. Because after Argonne, there was a lot more school to go to, so I can recall some of that.
What were the biggest differences at Argonne then than now?
What was what?
What were the biggest differences at Argonne?
Well, first of all, every girl had to wear a dress, so every day that was a problem, and the dress had to be ironed and fixed up. You certainly never wore pants. That was not allowed. First of all, those were play clothes, and in those days, we wore bloomers, black bloomers for gym. I want to thank you. That was very, very nice, and it was well done.
Thank you.
Also, I forgot to mention, Adele brought a lot of pictures with her today, and if you didn't notice, they were passing along up here. So report cards and pictures of the time that she was here at Argonne. So that's really special. Please give Adele a huge, big round of applause. All right, Argonne, do you like games? You don't like games? Well, I don't know what we're gonna do then. You do like games? We are going to play a game. I would like to invite up our members, or our trivia, way back trivia participants to participate in our trivia game. First, I'd like to invite up Miss Katinga. I'd like to invite up... Okay, Miss Katinga and a teammate. I would like to also invite up Ellis and Michael from the 5th grade class. Come on up. And our 4th team will consist of our very own Wolfie. Is Wolfie around? Turn and say hi, Wolfie. Wolfie is very nervous today, so make sure you be nice. Please don't grab Wolfie or shout at Wolfie. Give Wolfie a wave. If Wolfie offers up a high five, don't be scared. All right, now I need your attention, please. We got to get through our trivia game. We are going to be... Oh, voices off, please. Thank you. I love the enthusiasm for Wolfie. I'm sure Wolfie appreciates it. But I need to let you guys know some rules, all right? You are not allowed to help anybody answer, even Wolfie, okay? Wolfie's got to answer on Wolfie's own. Please don't yell out answers. Please don't shout or say no or yes or anything like that, okay? If you hear a question and you know the answer, think it to yourself, and then afterwards be like, yes, I got it. Or like, ooh, maybe I didn't know what I thought, you know? But please don't yell at any answers or try to help in any way, okay? The questions will appear on here as well as the answers. I will read them out. Our contestants will guess, or hopefully no, all right? Contestants, are you ready? Yeah, ish? Okay, we'll see. Okay, the staff is very excited. Okay, our first question. Argonne is named for a forest in France where battles were fought by San Francisco's own doughboys during World War I. Now, one mother championed the school's name in honor of her fallen son, Corporal Frank. What was his first name? Was it A, Gregory Frank, B, Chauncey Frank, C, Henry Frank, or D, Beans A. Frank? You got about 5 seconds to answer. Could we please have a marker, a dry erase marker for our student team? Oh, it's in the sock? Oh, they were stalling, I think. They were stalling. Can you believe these kids? Oh, man. All right. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Contestants, please reveal your answers. Okay, so we've got a B in answer, we've got an A, and Henry being C. The correct answer is B, Chauncey Frank. All right, I hope that the slow start for Wolfie and the teachers doesn't continue. All right, moving on to question 2, all right? Question 2. Oh, I need quiet for this. The contestants have to be able to hear the question, okay? Now, the decade of the 1920s is also referred to as A, the Retro 20s, B, the Roaring 20s, C, the Sleepy 20s, or D, the Goofy 20s.
Oh, it's a D, I know. It's B.
Contestants, good luck.
What do you guys think it is?
I feel like it might be D or B. I have no idea.
What do
I
you
hear a
think?
lot of people yelling out answers, and I was pretty clear about not yelling out answers. Thank you. All right, contestants, please show your answers. We have D, B, and B. The correct answer is B, the Roaring 20s. Our students now have 2 points. Our staff are on the board, and everybody say, "Aw, Wolfie." Oh, no correct answers for Wolfie yet, but I believe. Do you believe in Wolfie? Yeah! Okay, good. All right, okay. Moving on to question number 3. Oh, I need quiet. In 1925, the school was bursting at the seams with too many wolves in the wolf pack. What is the number of students that were enrolled at that time? In 1925, how many students were enrolled? Please be quiet. A, 800, B, 1,000, C, 1,400, or D, 9,999,999.
What do you guys think it is?
I think it's either A or B.
A or B?
A or B.
All right, good luck. Wolfie has to try to do anything to win at this point. Oh, man. All right, contestants. On 3, I'd like you to reveal your answers. 1, 2, 3. We have 800, 800, and 9,999,999. Oh my goodness. The correct answer is not D, unfortunately. Say, "Oh, Wolfie." The correct answer is not A either. The correct answer is C, 1,400 wolves in the wolf pack. Our the staff, and Wolfie has 0. So sorry. All right, we have, I believe, one more question. All right, Argonne. Oh, we know how to do that way better. All right, now, question 4. So we have 2 questions remaining, 4 and 5, all right? Question number 4. Argonne was provided with police officers to act as crossing guards from the 1940s to the 1960s. What were these police officers mounted on? Was it A, hoverboards? The contestants need to hear. Was it B, squirtles? Was it C, llamas? Or was it D, horses? I don't know. That's a tough one.
What do you guys think?
D.
What do you think?
I don't know if it's worth it. Okay, we gotta keep quiet. We have A, hoverboards, B, squirtles, C, llamas, or D, horses. Contestants, please reveal your answers. We have horses, we have squirtles, and we have llamas. Kids, what's the right answer? It's horses. Our students take a commanding 3-1 lead. Well done. All right, and llamas, Wolfie. Oh my goodness, Wolfie. All right, we have one final question, all right? One final question. I need your attention and your quiet. Bring the voices off, please. We cannot continue until we have voices off. All right, question number 5, our final question. From the schools bounding through the 1940s, students used to participate in an annual citywide expedition. What was it called? Was it A, the Children's Pet Exhibit? Was it B, the Youth Floss Off? Was it C, the Coke Drinking Contest? Or D, the Fortnite Fiesta? All right, we have 4 really tough answers up there. 4 really good ones. Frankly, I don't know what to choose. I have some confidence in our teams. Well, I have confidence in most of our teams. All right. We have the Children's Pet Exhibit, the Youth Floss Off, the Coke Drinking Contest, or the Fortnite Fiesta. Contestants, please reveal your answers. We've got B, the youth floss-off. Very impressive, Wolfie. I may have to give Wolfie a win for the dance, but I cannot, unfortunately. The correct answer is A, the children's pet exhibit. Our final score. Wolfie, unfortunately, did not answer a single question. Oh no, Wolfie, don't feel like an egg. It's okay, all right. Now, it was between the students and the staff, all right? Please give me a big drum roll. The winning team with a correct total of 4 questions was the students! Contestants, please stand up and take a bow. Stand up and take a bow. All right. Please give Wolfie a round of applause as Wolfie exits the stage. Thank you, Miss Inouye. Give